There's no scientific consensus as to why people gain weight, but in terms of what's been observed over and over again in both research and practice, the most plausible explanation comes from Energy Balance Model, EBM, of obesity. It proposes that the brain performs a complex balancing act to control food intake and energy expenditure, and by extension, body weight. According to EBM, we gain weight when there's a mismatch between our energy needs and the amount of food energy we eat in response to hunger-stimulating cues from the environment. My name is Jeremy Colon, and this is The Dark Side of Fitness, Episode 13. For food energy, I'm using this term so amount isn't interpreted as volume of food. You could eat a lot of broccoli without consuming a lot of energy. Most people think of this as calories in, calories out, or cycle. This is the model that best aligns with my understanding of nutrition science. In a new paper authored by an all-star lineup of weight loss scientists from around the world offers a great opportunity to review what I do and don't know about weight control and emphasizes the most important lessons for you. What is energy balance and why does it matter? Energy balance, at the most basic level, is physics. Physics tell us that energy is neither created nor destroyed, which means that all calories you consume must be accounted for. Calories, as you probably know, are units of energy. 1 kilocalorie, the scientifically correct term for what we call a calorie, provides enough energy to increase the temperature of 1 kilogram of water by 1 degree Celsius. You lose weight when you burn more calories than you consume. You gain weight when you consume more than you burn. When it comes to weight, I'm talking about the changes in bodily tissue weight here and not body weight, which can change independent of calorie intake. That part of it is simple enough, but it doesn't explain the steep rise in obesity in the past 5 decades. We all know where the majority of the excess calories come from: cheap, convenient, and highly processed foods. But why do we eat those foods in such massive quantities? Deidre Tobias, SCD, one of the EBM study co-authors, explained on Twitter why the problem defies easy solutions. I'll provide screenshots of her Twitter post above and also the link in the description. These are her solutions. Number 1, appetite control happens below our conscious awareness. Let's say you gain 10 pounds over the past few years. Your brain will use a variety of signaling mechanisms to make sure your appetite increases enough to maintain your larger size. Those signals come from everywhere: muscle, fat cells, bones, organs. They all communicate their needs to the brain. This energy balance system doesn't require you to eat the exact same amount of food energy every day, which would have been impossible through most of our human evolution. Instead, the system seems designed to allow you to maintain a stable weight over time despite daily fluctuations in calorie consumption. Number 2, it's clearly harder for some people to manage their weight. BMI is about 75% heritable. That's why 2 apparently similar people can follow the same diet or training program and get very different results. And it's why some people are more susceptible to changes in the food environment and suffer far worse consequences. Number 3, there's no single cause of the rise in obesity. Researchers have yet to identify a single gene or behavior or type of food with the power to cause billions of people to gain unwanted weight. Instead, it's a lot of things that have small to medium effects individually, but larger effects cumulatively on different people in different circumstances. Here are some coaching takeaways. Number 1, all calories matter. The EBM is agnostic about food choices. If your total calorie intake is more over time than your daily calorie expenditure, regardless of the food you eat, you'll gain weight. What's more, you can lose weight on a Twinkie diet if you reduce your total calories enough. That said, number 2, food choices matter too. How much you eat will largely depend on what you eat. Your brain and gut have satiated mechanisms that help prevent overeating. You just have to give them a chance. For example, people are apt to naturally eat less on a diet that emphasizes minimally processed foods versus the ultra-processed foods. One reason: the delicious combination of sugar, fat, and salt in ultra-processed foods make it harder to control your intake. These foods are in fact engineered to blow past your body's satiety signals. Additionally, whole foods are inherently more satiating, meaning they keep you fuller for longer, and are less energy dense, meaning they have fewer calories in the same volume of food. Number 3, EBM isn't just about how many calories you eat and how many you burn through daily activity. That's a major oversimplification and why some people find EBM hard to swallow. In reality, EBM includes all the complex inner workings of the body, as well as the external factors that ultimately impact calories in and calories out. As you can see in the illustration above, many things influence these two variables, which is why weight loss might be simple in concept, but it's really easy in practice. Thank you so much for getting through to this part of the video. If you like content like this, please like, subscribe, and definitely share with anybody who could benefit from this. So, my one thing to take away from this study: always listen to your body. And what I mean by that is we have a habit of just continually doing what we want to do and not taking a second to ask ourselves if we're feeling full, if we're feeling hungry, are we bored? Have a moment with yourself, have a chance with yourself, and figure out if what you're doing, what you're consuming, and it could just be anything. It can be with workouts, that can be with preparing food, eating food, and just general check-in with ourselves. I think it's important. I think we don't do a lot of it ourselves. We're just taking a second and just asking ourselves, are we good? You know, is the food that we're going to eat, is it going to make us full? Are we going to overeat? Do we find ourselves in the middle of the day or middle of the night eating things that we're not supposed to, especially if we have goals in mind? So above all, check in with yourself. Have a moment with yourself. It takes a few seconds, and it does more for you in the long run than you think. So above all, that is my last thoughts. Please like, subscribe, and we'll love to hear your comments below. Have a great one. Take care.